On to you, Sagittarius. So you have the Wheel of Fortune, the Judgment, the Tower, the Hermit, the Hanged Man. Oh, wow. The Two of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. 5 major arcana in a row. Okay. Okay, so for you, Sagittarius, the Wheel of Fortune, the Judgment, some big changes are most definitely coming. The big changes, they're going to be very difficult to accept at first because it's something that it's going to be a challenge to you, right? Most definitely, it's going to be a challenge to you and everything that you have learned to accept and agree about yourself that you will come to find out is really not true at all. The Tower now represents, and as a result, you're going to have to learn to adjust to those changes very quickly because there's going to be a lot coming and there's going to be a lot coming down the pipe, in a sense, coming down the timeline to you, right? You're going to be challenged, like I said before, right? Your challenge is going to be, can you, Sagittarius, look the same as far as your face and everything like that, right? Technically calling yourself by the same name, but are you spiritually changing your identity? And the Tower represents a lot of that stuff is going to be a heartbreak because the things that you're going to learn how to let go of are the things that you thought that you would have to be attached to. But you, Sagittarius, the Judgment, this shows me that you, Sagittarius, will be willing and accepting, or I should say willing, to let go of those things and make those proper changes. The Hermit and the Hanged Man now represents, as a result of this, the Hermit is about this being a situation for you where the Hermit is you ultimately, and the Hanged Man, so Virgo and Pisces. This is ultimately about you and your own internal acceptance of the changes and the heartbreak that comes along with it. And the Hanged Man is basically saying the best and the fastest way to not only become accepting of those changes, but to have those changes not be so heart-wrenching and heartbreaking is to accept them and to allow them to happen and to allow them naturally to be what they are. See, the Hanged Man just doesn't represent scapegoating. The Hanged Man represents the way out sometimes is the way through. This is because, see, the Hanged Man is a clip-off card. It's clip-off because the Hanged Man is what it is that you do when you travel. And, Kabbalistic tree, it's what happens when you travel from Chesed and you try to cross over to Bina or Bina, which is the top left sphere on the Kabbalistic tree. But Chesed is on the right hand side, right lower. But you go from Chesed to Bina, which is upper left. And as you're crossing over, you have a sphere in the middle of it, which is represented by Aquarius, but that is also represented as Dot or Doth, right? The Tower, right? Scorpio, death, right? That's one of the things that Doth represent. That's one of the things that Scorpio represent, that dot. And when you cross over, this is very important because when you cross over, you get plunged into the clip-off, right? And that's when you go through that systematic dysfunction and breaking down of the things that you used to once think about yourself. And this is the scenario. The scenario with that is you're in a particular situation where you, Sagittarius, you're going, like I said, you're going through extreme, or I should say drastic life changes that you've been wanting. You've been wanting to get out of that cycle that you're in. And this is what it is. The Two of Pentacles represents, as a result of this, if you come out on the other side of it and you accept it and the ego doesn't get the better of you, right? The Two of Pentacles represents, the Queen of Cups represents the ego, but the Two of Pentacles represents the reward that you'll have if you don't allow the ego to overtake you. because this is something that's naturally supposed to be happening to you, because you, Sagittarius, right now, you're in a system or in a cycle of life where you want to break free, and this is finally your way to break free. So the Page of Wands now represents, so as a result, for you, Sagittarius, okay, this is your reward. The gold, the gold coins, the Page of Wands, right, which is the freedom. This is you breaking free. This is your idea of the things that you said that you wanted, you're actually getting. The freedom that you wanted, the finances that you wanted, you're actually getting it now. But the Queen of Wands now represents, but it's not going to be celebrated the way that you think it is. You think that you will be celebrating it right now. For the ones of you who are not going through it, you think that you're celebrating it from a standpoint of, throwing a party, because Sagittarius is the zodiac sign of the partier, right? But the way that you actually are once you go through this ordeal, the way that you are going to express it is really through this, a sense of dignity and self-respect, and not necessarily throwing a party, because you're going to see that there's no need for one. The Knight of Wands represents, even though the ego may act up and people may invite you to certain things, right? So this is a twofold thing, because people, even when people try to invite you to certain things, you're not going to go. Even when your ego is like, hey, you get the thought of, hey, why don't we throw a party with all of this stuff, that we've attained? A lot of you Sagittarius are going to be completely different. When I was going through my clip-orthic situations, I came out on the other side of it completely different, to the point where I don't even recognize or able to closely, I should say, because I remember it, but I'm unable to closely identify with my old self, because that's not who it is that I am anymore. I was able to let go of a lot of different things, and I was able to make amends with the fact that even though I'm a Virgo and a lot of people would consider me smart and stuff like this, I still have feelings. People still hurt my feelings with the goofy stuff that they do, and then they act like, again, I'm supposed to be some sort of like robot. And it goes to show you how like I said, the more that I was able to accept that about myself, is the more that I started to see and view other people, how delusional they were. Like they running around treating people like robots, and that type of delusion says something about them. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Queen of Wands. Let's clarify the Queen of Wands. So to clarify, we have the Ace of Swords, the Nine of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Four of Cups. The Ace of Swords and the Nine of Cups represents a lot of the habits that you used to have. You're gonna break loose from a lot of those habits. So if you Sagittarius have vices when it comes to like cigarettes, cigars, liquor, alcohol, any of that type of stuff, a lot of you I just see a lot of you Sagittarius, you're breaking free from that cold turkey. You know what I mean? Or if not cold turkey, a lot of you are going to slowly quit, and it's going to actually stick. It's actually going to work. And a lot of times people like to play that game of, addiction is forever. That's not really true. That's not really true. The Two of Wands and the Four of Cups now represent, and, but you see that hanging out with the old people that you used to hang out with, right? If you had an entourage, a group of friends, the old temptations, whatever the old temptations are, whether it's people, whether it's a place, whether it's doing something again, a lot of you Sagittarius, you're seeing it for what it is, which is a blight, a problem, something that's going to hold you back on your own progress. So a lot of you Sagittarius are not going to deal with that anymore, right? The Two of Wands, people's superiority and them trying to make it seem like they're so much better than you, and the mentality that a lot of you Sagittarius have had, like you can't let a person get away with this. Then you have the Four of Cups. You know, the idea of you trying to go for somebody and they act like you don't exist. Like all of that triggers that would get you upset. It doesn't work anymore.